Agents, stop losing sales to these 5 common objections. Spouse, I need to think about it. Social, I don't have time. And most importantly, number 5, yourself. I'm Logan. Let's get into it. Objection number 1, I need to talk to my wife. Now, this is maybe one of the most common objections we get in our space. You know, people unsure, they freeze up after quotes, and they're just trying to brush you off, right? It's a smokescreen at the end of the day. So how I personally go about it is they'll hit me with, oh, I just need to talk to my wife. Like, oh, absolutely. I want you to talk to your wife. You know, this is a really important decision. You know, I know how important this is to you, but remind me, you said currently you don't have anything in place, right? Oh, wow. Okay. So this is pretty important to you. And I know you said, you know, God forbid if something happened to you, you wouldn't want those expenses falling onto the wife too. Oh, wow. Okay. So, okay, here's what we'll do. I tell you what, we're just going to start with the smallest option today. That way you have something in place. God forbid something did happen to you, right? You know, because again, you told me how important it was these burial or cremation expenses don't fall into the wife. So we'll just make sure we can get you approved for that smallest option. And then, you know, a month, 2 months down the road, if this is still pretty comfortable to you, we can always up the coverage. The main thing today is just making sure I can get you qualified for something. Now let's break that down just a little bit. What did I do there that, you know, could have disarmed him, got us on the same team, got us to the application, and ultimately got us a sale, right? First, I agreed with him. So a lot of people, especially new agents, they hear rebuttal, and what do? They freeze up. They want to argue back. They want to get, you know, they change their tone. I kept the same tone. I just talked to him, and I agreed. I said, oh, absolutely. Please go talk to your wife, right? That's important. So I agreed with him, and then I reduced the price. Ultimately, I need to think about it, talk to the wife. You know, that's just going to be a price objection at the end of the day. So I reduced the price, emphasized that he has nothing in place like he told me, and this would be a good option just to have something, God forbid. Okay, so I agree, and I just completely take the pressure off of him in this situation, and then we just move forward, blow right past it. Objection number 2, now I need to think about it. You know, this is very similar to I need to talk to the wife, I need to talk to the spouse, whatever it may be. At the end of the day, this one's also just going to be a price issue. Maybe they were wanting it to be cheaper. You know, maybe they heard different quotes. Who knows what it is? At the end of the day, it's just another smokescreen. So how I would go about this, I would do the same thing I really did with the spouse. I would say, oh, absolutely. I know how important of a decision this is. And we definitely do need to think about this. Now, right now, there's not a whole lot to really think about, right? Because I don't even know if you're going to get approved. So I'd hate for you to, you know, go and think about it. You get all excited about an option, and then you come back to me and you get denied. That'd be pretty crappy, right? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, great. So here's what we're going to do. So I know how important this was to you. And again, just remind me, you have nothing in place right now, right? Oh gosh. Okay. So let's just start with that option A. That way you have something in place. And then if we get you approved, again, we can always up this coverage in the future. Okay? Okay, great. Now, really at the end of the day, guys, that's a very similar objection to the first objection. But I did one thing different there, right? I emphasized with them, and I sounded just really authentic in the way I told them, well, right now, I don't even know if they'll accept you. I hate for you to go and think about it, and then you get denied, and that'd be really crappy, right? And the way I emphasize that, and the reason I say the word crappy, is because it's just real. It's authentic. It doesn't sound like some salesman, you know, garbage spewed out of my mouth. It sounds like I'm resonating with them. I know that would be bad if they did get denied, and how, again, crappy that would be. The third objection is social. Now, this is the first main objection in an application. You can really get, you know, banged on, right? As we say in our space. How I go about it, really, in my opinion, everything leading up to the social decides if you're going to get objected on the social. So first, I want to say that everything that leads up to it, you know, tonality, professionalism, rapport, all of that makes a big difference here. But in the moment, what are some things you can do, prior to it? First off, never just ask someone, what is your social security number? That's like your mom yelling your first and last name when you were a little kid, right? You're scared. So the way I go about it is I explain a little bit too prior, and then I ask for it subtly, so to speak. So, Margaret, hey, Margaret, so just so they can do that medical background check on you, what's going to be a good social to attach to your policy, right? And then let's say she doesn't want to give it. Oh, she's not comfortable with that. She doesn't like to give it out over the phone. Oh, absolutely. Margaret, hey, I'm right there with you. I hate doing that myself. Now, here's why we do need it. One, the insurance company does need to do the medical background check on you. I don't know if you're familiar, but every time we go to the doctor, the hospital, our social is tied to the Medical Information Bureau. So that gets updated every time we go, and the insurance company uses that while we fill out this application to give us that instant answer at the end of the application, okay? And then two, God forbid when you do pass someday, you're going to want this to pay out to your beneficiary. Now, at that point, there's going to be a death claim. That death claim has to have the same social on it as this application has to have as well to prevent any fraud. Okay, does that all make sense? Okay, great. Then what's that social for you? Now, what did I do there? First, again, I resonated with her. Oh, absolutely. I hate giving my social out over the phone too, right? So agreeing with someone, it lets their guard down. And then I just explained, the reasons they do need it. There's no real magic sauce to that. He says, besides just being able to explain it to them. People, they don't know you. You are over the phone at the end of the day. I probably wouldn't give out my social to a million strangers as well, right? So just agree, educate, and then most of the time, if you've done your job well up to this point, you'll get the social. Objection number 4, I don't have time. Now, again, this is just a smokescreen. My own personal belief, we all have time in our lives for something that is important to us. We have 5 minutes in our day for things that we do want to do, right? At the end of the day, they filled out the form. They sent it to you. They know they're going to get calls. They can do this. I would say 9 out of 10 times, they are free, okay? So when I get that objection, what do? Well, right away I say, oh, absolutely. I don't really have time either. I have appointments all day long, so I'm in the same boat as you. So here's what we'll do. If you work with me, I'll work with you. I know this is important to you. We'll get this done in just 1 to 2 minutes. Now, what did I do there, right? Again, you just say, oh, absolutely. I don't have time either. So they tried to raise themselves above my time, and I brought it right back with them, right? We're on the same playing field here. Their time is not more important than mine, and mine is not more important than theirs at the end of the day. So we have to work together. And then I always say 1 to 2 minutes. So I know I've told a lot of my guys that I work with, some of them say 10 to 15, 20 minutes. Guys, at the end of the day, just think about this logically. If you don't really want to do something and then someone tells you it's going to take 15 to 20 minutes, does that really encourage you to want to do it more? No. So I always say 1 to 2 minutes. I encourage them, hey, you work with me, I'll work with you. We'll get this done. And you don't have to, talk to anybody ever again, right? So get on the same team as them, be efficient in the application, of course, and just get it done for them. And then the 5th most common objection, guys, and maybe the most important, is yourself. At the end of the day, one thing I see with a lot of new agents, especially even, seasoned agents, is they don't really fight for the sale, right? They get objected by the client and they kind of just give up. Guys, I tell my agents this all the time. They could definitely tell you, it's a matter of, do you want to make money or not? I might get a question like, well, they just hung up on me on banking. Should I call them again? Do you want to make money or not? Oh, I think we just lost connection. Should I call them again? Do you want to make money or not? Like, I could do this all day long, and maybe that sounds blunt. It sounds maybe harsh. I'm not sure. But at the end of the day, that's what we're here to do. So you got to have a sense of hunger to you, that you are going to fight for your sales and just do what it takes to get paid here. Something else agents are doing, is rebuttaling themselves. I've always had this story. We had an agent, he's not even directly on my team, but he would come in and he'd get on the phone and he might hear like a kid in the background, someone's driving or something. He'd hear the kid in the background be, oh gosh, you're with your kids or your grandkids. Oh, okay, we can just talk later. And it's like, were they not just talking to you so they can't continue to talk to you throughout the application? Or, he'd hear him driving, right? Oh, are you driving? Well, we can just call later. We can do this later. Were they not just talking to you on the phone? They can't continue to talk and say their social, their address, just like they were talking to you prior, right? So again, it comes down, guys, don't rebuttal yourselves. Be hungry. Like the opportunity of what is possible in this space is endless. And most likely that's why we are all here. All right, guys, that was the most 5 common objections I see in our space personally. Hopefully that helped, gave you more insight to what I say, and hopefully it gets you more sales, right? At the end of the day, that's the goal here. That's what we're all trying to do. I'm going to be making these videos. The goal is to do one every Monday right now. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and just stay tuned for the next.